Hey guys, what's up? It's Heidi. So it is officially the end of October, which means it is time for my October wrap up and November TBR. So let's get started. So I actually had a really good reading month. So I read 8 books. So let's get into those. The first book I read is Fablehaven Rise of the Evening Star by Brandon Mull. This is the second in his Fablehaven series and it was great and I loved it. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm excited to read the next one. The next one is the last one I've read in the series before the 4th and the 5th, so I'm really excited to read those and find out what happens. The next book I read was Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by Genevieve Tucholke. I don't know how to say her name. And this is pretty good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It just kind of wasn't my genre style, I guess. I've heard other people really liked it. I can see where other people would really like it. Just wasn't my thing, but I did like it. It wasn't bad. The next book I read I really loved, and that was Crank by Hopkins. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was amazing. I finished it really quickly, and I wrote a review on it on my blog, and Hopkins ended up commenting on it, so that was really flippin' exciting. There's 2 more in this series, and she has a ton of other books. I really want to read them all because they're so good. So good. And the next book I read, I'm pretty sure everybody read this month, and that is House of Hades by Riordan. So good. It makes me nervous for the next one. This is the second to last book in his House of Hades series. And oh, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Easy. I read it in a few days and it was so good. And just... The next book I read was Allegiant. This was amazing. I loved this book. It's my second favorite in the series. And it was just so good. And I know a lot of people didn't like the ending. I appreciated it. But this was pretty good. Very good ending to a very great trilogy, so if you haven't read it, go get it and read it because it's so good. The next book I read I also really loved. This has been very hyped up by lots of people and I was very worried about reading it because it was so hyped up and I was nervous I wasn't going to like it and it wasn't going to be as good as my expectations were for it, but it totally blew all my expectations out of the water. It was amazing and I loved it. I'm really excited to read the next one, and the third one comes out in some point in time soonish, I think, and that is The Unbecoming of Marr Dyer. This book. So I really have a thing for warped perspectives, I guess. When you're reading from someone's point of view, I really like it if it's like potentially not the actual reality of what's going on in the book. And this book captured that so well and it was so good, and just this book, go read it. Just, it was so good. And Noah, let me tell you, he is very nice. I like him. He's one of my favorite male characters in many books. I also finished Eragon on audiobook. It's a reread. I liked it a lot more on audiobook than I did as physically reading it, and I think that's just because it's kind of slow-ish. It's not like boring, but it's just kind of, it's not a super quick read, and I really liked it as an audiobook, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars this time as opposed to 3 out of 5, which I gave it before. And I do actually really want to read the rest of the series. I do recall reading up to the 3rd one once upon a time, but I don't remember what happened at all. So I'm gonna eventually finish rereading those, and I'm pretty excited about it. And the last book that I am not actually finished reading, but I will probably finish later today, is Carrie by Stephen King. I really am liking this so far. It's not actually that scary. I was really worried that it was gonna like freak me out a lot. I feel like it might get a little worse as we get to the end. I did see the movie last night. I really liked it. Chloe Grace Moretz is so cool. I just really like her a lot, and she's so pretty. I love Chloe. So those are all the books that I read in October, and I have a lot of books that I want to read in November, so let's get into those. I don't think that I'm going to lay out every single book that I want to read this month just because there's so many, and I'll just probably pick ones that I feel like reading at the time when I finish them, but there are some specific ones that I want to finish, so I will show you those and maybe show you some possibilities, and let's go! Alright, the first two books are the Fablehaven, what is it, Grip of the Shadow Plague. This is the third one in the series, and then Fablehaven, Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary. And I want to finish these two because I want to finish the series by the end of the year, and there's 3 left in 2 months, so I'm going to do this. I might even finish the third one because I'm kind of getting to the point where I just want to like binge read this series because it's so good, and I think I might do that actually now that I'm thinking about it. Next book I want to read is Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. This is from my library. I've had it checked out for like a month now, so I should probably read it. I can have it for like another 2 months or something. Our library is insane with the amount of times you can renew stuff. But I do want to read this, and it looks pretty good. I have a couple friends who really like it. And the last book I really want to read this month is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. And this is the second in the Lunar Chronicles series, and it comes after Cinder. And I think this is based off of Red Riding Hood loosely, whereas the first one was Cinderella, and that looks pretty good. So I do really enjoy this series, and even though I think I gave the first one like 3 stars, but like looking back I want to give it more, I think. But I'm really looking forward to reading the next one. I don't know if it's a trilogy or it's like a bigger series, or yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this quite a bit. And that's all the books that I have that I like really want to finish in November. And if you have any recommendations for me or any books you think I should read, let me know down in the comments and I will check them out and maybe read those this month also. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you like me, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!